Good evening. I hope you've been having a wonderful Sunday. Hope you've had a wonderful Sunday afternoon. Hopefully you were able to join in with us this morning, either in person or online. And as I do, I know I sound like a broken record, but please share those videos with whoever you have the opportunity to share those videos with. Certainly appreciate that. It's a good work of the church. The elders, even long before the situation that we're in now, had gone to the effort to make sure that we had cameras, that we could broadcast those sermons out over the internet and things like that. So that's certainly a wonderful blessing. We were on vacation last week, but we were able to watch Sellers Crane as he preached from Rivergate, and so certainly it's a wonderful opportunity that we have, something that we can have to be thankful for. So I want to continue to remind you about that. As matters of housekeeping go, I'd also like to remind you that this Wednesday night at 6:30, our summer series will be continuing, and Chuck Pitt will be there with us Wednesday night, and he will be talking about Jesus from the standpoint of him being the Son of Man. Chuck's a great guy, and he's a good speaker, and I'm certain that he will have a good lesson for us. So as the invitations go, you can join us in person at 6:30, or you can join us online. Share it with your friends, neighbors, family, whoever you can share it with. So again, Chuck Pitt this Wednesday night at 6:30, and you won't want to miss out on that. Now, as far as our Devo goes, I was doing some reading some time back, and I came across this little, I don't know if you'd call it a joke or a cute little article, whatever, but I wanted to share that with you, and this is how it goes. It says, the writer Bill Henderson recalls meeting a man aboard a cruise ship who claimed to be an expert in guessing professions. See that man over there, he said? He's a physician. Bill checked. Sure enough, that was right. How could you tell? He asked him. Well, he said, I saw the caring lines on his forehead and could tell he was a person of great compassion. Bill Henderson pointed to someone else and said, what about him? What does he do? Well, that's a lawyer, the expert said. Bill checked, and sure enough, he was. The expert explained that the man had a scholarly look and was somewhat formal, indicating an attorney. Then Bill pointed to another man. The expert studied him and said, that's a preacher. Bill approached the man and asked, are you a preacher? No, said the man. I'm just seasick. That's the reason I look so sad. You see, the expert thought the man was a preacher because he had a sad countenance. Now, how strange is it that Christians have this long-faced reputation? Jesus certainly must not have been that way, because children were willing to readily come to him. So he must not have been a person going around looking like he was sad, looking like he was unapproachable. There must have been some kind of joy that was exuding from Jesus in his life. As Christians, we shouldn't have that reputation. Many times I've thought about when Ira North talked about something similar to this in his book Balance. He talked about how sometimes our congregations have had a reputation for having a funeral home atmosphere. Now, why in the world would Christians have a reason to have a funeral home atmosphere? Why would we have a reputation for being long-faced or looking sad? Certainly we should be a people of joy. In Philippians chapter 4 and verse 4, Paul writing here says, rejoice in the Lord always. Again, I say rejoice. Now I want to draw your attention to just a moment to thinking about the man that's writing this. Rejoice in the Lord always? Really, Paul? With everything that you've been going through, beaten, shipwrecked, beaten by your own people, by foreign people, dragged out of the city, stoned, left for dead, all those things that Paul went through. And again, rejoice in the Lord always. Again, I say rejoice. John, writing in 1 John chapter 1 and verse 4, he says, and these things we write to you that your joy may be full. You see, there should be joy found in reading the Scriptures, knowing that we have done what we need to do to become a Christian. The only reason that there's reason to not have joy is that if you've not taken advantage of becoming a Christian, then you've got a reason to have a sad face, a sad countenance. We're supposed to be a city set on a hill as Christians. We're supposed to be a bright light shining to the world. In 1 Peter chapter 3 and verse 15, Peter writes and says, but sanctify the Lord God in your hearts, and always be ready to give a defense to everyone who asks you a reason for the hope that is in you with meekness and fear. I've used this illustration many times before, but I can't ever get past it. I don't have a doubt that Peter writing that, he felt like and he knew that Christians should be acting in a way that would cause people to ask them about the hope that's in them. Friends, as you go into this evening, as you prepare for the work week, as you prepare for Monday morning and whatever gloom that might be, think about the joy that you have of being a Christian. Take that with you into your week, but not only take it with you, but find a way to share your joy with someone else. Be a joy and a happiness and a bright shining light to this world. Be someone that if you're gone, you're going to be missed. Thank you once again for tuning in, and I pray that you have a blessed week.